Hello, guys. So I tried to record my Aslan match. It seems there was an issue. Well, the issue is there was no image in the recording. Showing how to beat a match without image is kind of pointless. So I'm just going to be going down the four comms that me and my club mates used to beat it. I'll show you what one's the most popular, and I'll show you different ways you can try to beat this match, looking at the different problems that you will face. The key problems in this match are one, you have zero speed, and both teams are going to regain the same amount of action bar every certain amount of time. Both teams are going to be given an insane amount of spirit constantly. I think it's a 220% is going to be given every few minutes. This does mean you're going to be able to use as many actives as you see fit, who's pretty cool. The only issue with that is the opposing goalkeeper has an active block of 100% damage reduction. You should not be able to damage him if he has that for some very obvious reason. Even if you do, it's going to be really slow. Silk is going to be healing the enemy team. The weather effect is piercing wind, which means that you're going to be taking damage every few seconds. There's another skill that they have who's actually going to be increasing the damage you receive per minute of the match too. So that kind of feels like a PvP match. So overall, it's not really that hard. And the one thing you once again want to really look at is, for some reason, they have a passive that makes no pass effect works. Because the reason why their passer looks like a motherfucking god, because of the passives he gives to the line when passing. Ideally, don't let their passer pass. It's like, I think, 70% penetration, critical damage. It's really bad. One cool thing you will notice, though, is that a lot of their team buffs will affect you. Therefore, if you decide to use something like a Jiho Ace, you will have an overall advantage over them just because of how many team buffs are going to be affecting you too. Now, for the comps, how exactly did we beat it? In my case, this is the comp I ran. The idea was very simple. I lower how much they heal. My support was a friend Chrono. You can also do this if you have a Gibril in midline. It's really up to you how you do it. The idea is very simple. Since everyone's always pretty much at 100% action bar, you let them go to backline. You do Nabi to Jean, who active shoots. Like this, the goalkeeper can never active block and help himself regain life. And because of this, the goalkeeper is only going to be able to heal 50%. If you put the Chrono up there, it lowers it even more. And, well, we can, for obvious reasons, understand why that's pretty great against this kind of match. It'll take usually around 30 minutes to beat this way, just because Jean gets more powerful every minute that passes. So as time goes on, he's going to be more powerful. But you want to try to finish it before the 30-minute cap, just because then you don't generate spirit as easily. So that's personally how I beat it. Now, the most common method to beat it is actually, let me see, well, this is the closest thing we can see to it. The idea here is pretty much that you use some global buffers. In this case, there's Jacob, there's free Ardor buffers for damage, there's Celis, there's an Elaine, and they usually borrow a second Elaine. You use both Elaine actives, and you give them one Silent Cold, one EMB, and one has Ardor Pass Stones just to generate enough spirit. Like this, Char is able to active shoot. Of course, you can try to do it in more than one shot. Again, you want to try to arrange it so that the goalkeeper can pull off his active. So maybe try to get him to active before doing the full-on combo. In this case, what he did pretty much was he used an Askeladd forward pass. Elaine, Char. I mean, he might have used another support, but that's pretty much how this thing goes down. Again, if you're using a Glade, you shouldn't really be having any issues with survival here either, as long as you use an area, though. Another comp used to beat it was for someone who had a little bit less global buffers. He went more on the critical damage route. So, of course, there is Marianne, there's Black Daisy, there's Celis. He put Valkyria to burn action bar and spirit in front line. This is, again, for the buffs. This is more buffs. This is some debuffs. Everything's really to buff the striker that he borrowed. I think he borrowed, if I remember correctly, William SOB, who seemed to have worked quite well. Again, he can use a Char. As long as it's Char, William, or Jean you're using for this, it should be completely fine. And here's for our Monolite friend, as we can tell from who's maxed out around here. He used Scylla instead just because she generates action bar. Again, it's the very standard thing. You borrow a William, you borrow a Char. You go in backline, you try to get as much buffs as you can. Here he got the Marianne active, the Marianne stacks. Then he got to the front line where you're able to use a few of the buffs. Again, Black Daisy active, Lin Mei, put it to the front line. You should have enough spirit thanks to Lin Mei stoning. And then you're able to use Elaine, pass it again, and get the striker to shoot on an active. This seems to be working pretty well. Overall, it's really the same concept. Either you're going for critical damage buffers, or you're going for a form of Zhongqi's by using damage increase in front line. If you guys have any questions, comments about it, just write down in the comments below. And again, if you don't have a friend who has a striker that's good enough for this, just write on the forums. A lot of people are chill and they'll actually lend you the striker and add you in their friend list. Have a good day, guys.